Hello all my creative munchkins, and hello to all the creative children that are out there too. Welcome to another free tutorial from Sandy at Spiral Crafts and Workshops, and with Halloween coming we're going to be going for that pumpkin that you just saw with some orange and some green clay. But before we get there, if you like the video, please do give us a thumbs up down below, down there, and please do subscribe to our channel so you can get lots more free videos when we put them up. There will be more coming. So, pumpkins. It's Halloween. We want to have some nice big pumpkins around. You can do them any size, but the sizes that I've given you are all in the instructions below. You can see all the materials. So you want round about 10 grams of orange clay. And this one's nice and simple, so we've just got a little bit of green clay to go with it as well. Now the green clay's under here because this is an air drying clay. I'm not going to be getting round to this for a while, so I'll pop it under the pot just to keep it a little bit drier and away from the air. In terms of tools and things that you need a surface to work on, which is here. It's quite nice. I like the marble chopping boards, they work well. You need a little bit of greaseproof paper to put your model on because the clay can stick to smooth surfaces. I've got a jumping clay tool which is nice and kid friendly. You can get this from Jumping Clay website. It just happens to be jumping clay that I use here as the air drying clay as well. But you can also use any clay tool that you want, as long as it's got a cutting edge and something that you can sculpt with. I just find these are really handy for what I want to do. And I've also got, just as an extra, we'll be using this to put the dent in the top of the pumpkin, but I just wanted you to see that you don't have to have a specific tool. You can actually use other things around the house to make the effects that you want on your pumpkin. So without further ado, let's have a look at what we've got. So the clay is nice and ready to go, and a pumpkin shape is really simple. So what you want to do is just make sure it's nice and soft, and then give it a really good roll in the palm of your hands. So obviously pumpkins are, well, they're kind of round, but we want to start with a round shape, and then we can see, when I do them in my palm, they always come out that shape. They never come out circular. They always come out what I call flying saucer. So I normally have to give my supposedly round shapes a bit of a massage at the end, just to press them in at the tops and the sides. So what you want is something that looks like that. Okay, nice and round. Bring your paper over and pop it on your paper. You don't want it sticking, because if you lift it and it's stuck, you get all this pizza cheese effect at the bottom, and it just wrecks your item really. So the next thing we want to do is grab our tool, and you'll see on Pinocchio's face that we've got this bobble on the top of his head here, and that is what you want to put in the middle, right in the middle of your pumpkin, and press down, and you'll see that your pumpkin becomes more pumpkin shaped and less circular, and then just gently remove it from there, and you've got this lovely dent in the middle of your pumpkin. Okay, this is where you could have used an end of a paintbrush and just put the end of the paintbrush in instead. You don't need specialist tools, that's fine. So we've got our pumpkin shape, and I'm going to take the back edge of the Pinocchio tool, and I'm going to take my pumpkin, and I'm going to start at the dent, and I'm going to go round to the bottom, and I'm going to put the tool on like that, and just roll the pumpkin down the edge of the tool like that. Now don't worry if it catches a bit and it just sticks a little. You can just smooth it out afterwards without any problem. So I normally do, I'm going to clean the clay that's got on there off though, because that just gives me a need to go next time. So what I normally do is 4, so I'll do 1 there on each of the quarters, so 1 there, each of the cardinal points, north, south, east and west. So we've got 4 like that, all the way around to the underneath. Try not to squish your pumpkin. I can feel myself doing it. So don't squeeze your pumpkin here. Don't squeeze this way, because it'll just deform the lovely pumpkin shape you've just made. So once you've got those 4 on, I then go in the midpoint between each of the 2 and put another set of lines all the way around. They don't have to be So I've lifted it up a little bit there, so we just press it down a little bit, smooth it off. They don't have to be absolutely perfectly evenly spaced because frankly pumpkins aren't absolutely evenly spaced. So I'm just going to neaten up some of the tops to get them pointing into the centre evenly. Pumpkins are just pumpkins, aren't they? You know, they grow how they grow and they'll do what they want. So there we have it. I'm just going to press that in again to reform the shape a little bit, because the clay, once you've made a shape, tends to try and push out a bit, and you don't want that really. You want it to stay where you want it. So sometimes you have to go back and just give it a little bit of helping hand. Right, so put your orange pumpkin to one side and grab your green clay. You'll probably need about 1 gram. You may not need that much, so just decide as you go along. You can always put it back in the bag with the rest of the clay. I always roll it into a ball, surprise, surprise, and then we're going to roll it into a sausage. So the first thing we want to do is just make sure that we've got quite a fat sausage in the one I've got. I've got quite a large hole here, so I want quite a fat sausage to go in the top of there, and I'm going to just give it a short stem, cut it about there. There we go. It has done that a little. Now because that's a little bit untidy there, I'm actually going to use the top. This is nice and smooth, so I'm actually going to use the top as the sticky up, the smooth bit as the sticky up bit, and the bit that's sort of not so neat and tidy is going to go on the inside, hidden. So untidy bit into the hole, press it into place, and we've got a nice big fat stalk. And what you can do then is just, if you want to, you can just lengthen it slightly and just bend it over like that, like a proper little pumpkin. Then with the clay that you've got left, you can either reform it into a sausage, or mine's already in a sausage, so I'm just going to cut it in half. Now because this is thinner here and fatter here, what I'm going to do is actually cut it straight up the middle that way, like that. So it's more chance for me to actually get even sizes if I do it that way. I still haven't, but there you go, you know. So I'm going to roll both of these into little balls. Any veterans out there will know we always roll them into little balls. It's one of my favourite things to do. And to do the leaves, it's got a little bit of a crease on it just here, so I'm going to give it another roll until the crease disappears. You may need to hydrate your clay a little bit if you're getting a lot of these wrinkles, and if you check in the description below, there's a link to an Etsy. There's actually 6 tutorials within the one set of tutorials, and it'll show you how to rehydrate your clay without any problem. So got my ball nice and smooth, and I'm just going to roll it in my fingers so that I get that shape, and then I'm going to roll it in my fingers on the other side, or you can just turn it over. I tend to be a little bit ambidextrous, so I can roll both sides, but it's how you feel comfortable, so that you've got something that's a bit of a diamond shape like that. Okay, I'm going to put the other one back there. Then the jumping clay tool's got a smooth side and a bumpy side. You want smooth side down, or you can just use your finger like that. Just press it down so that you end up with that shape. And once you've got that shape, sometimes it sticks to the, oh, this one hasn't stuck to the table. If it sticks to the surface, just lift it with the edge of the tool. And then you want to put the little leaf pattern on it. So one line down the middle, and then a couple of lines up the side, and a couple of lines down the other side. So that's the first leaf. What I'd then do is just pinch, if you can see, just pinch the end there and fold it back a little bit, and then, oh, here we go, where do we put it? Got to decide where to put it now, which is always a bit of a problem. So I'm going to put it on the bottom because it's quite a big leaf. So I'm going to put it on the bottom there. So that flat bit that you've pinched goes against the stem, and then you can curve your leaf a little bit, and then if you just make it contact the pumpkin, that'll just hold it in place and give it a little bit more stability there. Okay, then I'm going to take the other one. This has actually come out a little bit smaller, for all I've tried to make them the same size. So I'll put the bigger one on the bottom. I've actually smoothed out, oh no, you're right, no I have. I've smoothed out some of the lines a little bit, so very gently make sure you go in exactly the same place as you did last time. Just going to put a couple of those back in because they've popped out again. So same again, roll it into a ball and then just roll it in your fingers into that sort of double point, double triangle shape like that. Take your tool or your finger and just give it a squidge. There we go. And then stick a line down the middle and lines up either side for the veins on the leaf, like that. Pinch a very small amount on the end, bend that back. You can actually give your leaf a little bit of a curl at this point, so it's a little bit bendy, a bit more 3D like. And then I'm going to put mine sort of there, so it's up in the air a bit. That will be less stable because obviously it's only attached here. But if it's not going to get too much wear and tear, that's going to be okay. If you are going to have a fair amount of wear and tear, they're going to get a lot of handling. I'd do the same again with this one, and I'd actually touch that like that. There we go. I've touched it anyway, so it gives it a bit more stability. And there you have it, one pumpkin with 2 leaves, ready to go for your Halloween decorations. So if you want some more videos, I've done a video already for some Halloween stuff. And if you want some more videos, just check out the other videos on the YouTube channel below. You'll see the other videos there. Or have a look on Facebook on the left hand side of the screen under videos. You'll see all the other videos that I've done there. And that's it. That's all you need. So happy making, and we'll see you soon.